Hello. Hey, Kiri, you're here. Hello. Thank you so much for coming. 3 people here on the live waiting for me. Oh, under Monday night in the middle of winter. So you got into the 60s today. That is what I hear, that there's supposed to be snow throughout the South. I know we're getting a little chilly, but not bad. Hey, Karen, thank you so much for coming. Well, right now we're at 16 degrees Fahrenheit, above zero. Tonight we get down to 1 degrees, but that's not bad, not for this time of the year. We have no snow in sight, and we're in the teens and 20s. So, you know, it's kind of nice for us actually, and normal. Hey, Julie, thanks for coming. All of you guys from the southern states with a little warmth here and there. Yeah, like you guys have been getting summer or at least spring. So thank you so much for coming. Really, really, really appreciate it. Well, so we have Alicia. Oh no. Oh, 103 fever, not good. Rib retractions. I am not familiar with that. Oh no. Alicia, I'm so sorry. Yes, we definitely will be praying for Corey. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, hi, Cecilia. Hi, Tinker's wife. Hey, Tori. Breathing problems. Is he autistic also then? So, Corey. Hey, Organic Raw Roots. Hi. Thanks for coming. So you called 911. Was that Friday that you called 911 or just now? I hope it's not just now because you shouldn't be on the chat if you just did. So, hey Eli, thanks for coming. Hi Gail. We've got a good crew here already. Okay, he's 5 years old. So it's hard for him to tell you what's wrong then too. I'm so sorry. I am doing well, thank you very much. Okay. Is there anything you need from us other than prayers? I mean, any way that we can help you or what we can do? I know you're way over in Canada, and so that's so hard. Oh, good. Do you have a good doctor to help take care of him? But I'll definitely keep Corey in my prayers here. You find a note. I'll do it on the back of my notes here. Corey. Alicia's son. Prayers. I will add him. We got it. So you're welcome. You're very, very welcome. Hey, Dave from Wyoming. Thank you for coming. All right. We're getting a good crew here. Tinker's wife. I forgot where. Do I have you down here? Let me see. I don't. So first of all, what is your first name and where are you from? So I'm trying to learn everybody. Tinker's wife. Patty in Oregon. Another Patty. All right. Thank you so much. I'm doing well, Organic Raw Roots. Thank you so much. Do I have you on my list too? I don't. So who are you? I'm sorry. There's just been, as the chats grow and as my channel grows and everything, it's hard to try to keep up on everybody, right? I really do want to. So, hi, Paul. Thanks for coming in from Holland. Lori's learning how to live life. I like that. All those L's from Wisconsin. Hey, neighbor. Rainbow 505. Hi. Thank you for coming. So, organic. Hi, Sunny Preps. Hello from Pittsburgh. Everybody survived the weekend, the Super Bowl and everything else going on. Let me see. Is it Organic Raw Roots? Is that what your name is? So, yeah, if you can just shoot me your first name and where you're from, that helps me remember a little better. I'm audiovisual in that way. So Terry in Miami. Fort White. All right. Thank you so much. Miami. All right. Everybody keep Alicia's little boy in your prayers. He's been having some breathing problems. She had to call 911 on Friday, so it can be really, really scary. Hey, Food Forest Permaculture, good evening to you. Hey, Gil, thanks for coming in. I know it helps to just like block greet everybody at one time, huh? Yes, they did win, didn't they? Let me see here. Yes, Howie. Okay, from Vancouver Island. That I didn't know where you were. I don't think. Do I have you down here? Oh, I do have you down. I've got you, Howie. So thanks for coming in, you guys. You're just like all awesome. And Dawn, I think your name is Dawn. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it is harder to tag on a phone. That's why I don't even use my phone really, unless I absolutely have to be on a live chat, because that's really tough. Hey, Max, hello. Cleaning tubing today, and someone's tiny hands walked up with a piece. Oh no, to the milking machine. Oh, that's terrible. I hope you can find it, yes. Oh, Organic Raw Roots. My name is Kathy. I kind of do an introduction at the very beginning. Although, did I forget today? I probably did forget today. Oh, I was just so interested in seeing everybody. Sorry about that. And I am in Minnesota, in West Central Minnesota, and actually the temperatures aren't bad. We are in the mid-teens right now, Fahrenheit, and I'm going to stay in the teens and 20s really for the next 10 days. So pretty actually mild for this time of year. Oh, I know, Grammy Karen. They're just so cute. They're all just so great. That is okay, Terry. That is Organic Raw Roots. Did I get the right one? Yeah, Terry, Miami, yes. Eli, you're gonna miss out on that pretty white stuff. That is too bad, really. I know you're just heartbroken about that one. So your internet is satellite. The buffering is so bad. Oh, I get you. You know what? We have to do what works out from wherever we are. So no, Idaho is 26 degrees and windy. That's what I hear, Karen. That in your area in the south, it's like spring and summer right now, 60s to 80s, and all of a sudden it's just gonna sweep in, and you guys are gonna have winter. That's when it's really hard. The Tinker's Wife. We had a skiff of snow, but you missed it falling. Oh, what is my weather like today? It's been mostly cloudy. I don't think we had a little bit of sunshine yesterday, but just cloudy, little breeze, teens. And yesterday, though, it was like in the mid to upper 40s. So everything was melting like crazy. I had like rivers running off my roof, and it was just starting to flood in front of my front steps and sidewalks. I'm out shoveling. You guys, I have to take a snow shovel and shovel water. I scoop it up and throw it away as far as I can, but that brings the melting level of the water down so that I don't have solid ice there, and it just makes it safer. So, oh, you would break in the teens. I know. You know what? It's all what you get used to, really. 1 year, San Antonio Weatherman City saw one snowflake. Ooh, that one! I bet you took a picture of it or something. I don't know. Try to save it. Oh, the daffodils are blooming already. Hi, Priceless Notions. Thank you for coming in. That would be hard. That everything starts blooming. I know that if we didn't have the snow cover that we do, I mean, we lost just yesterday probably 6 or 8 inches of our snow cover. It just melted out like crazy. And you know, but we still have a good foot to 15 inches or something. But if we didn't have that, the ground would start getting uncovered, and then our maple trees would start running sap. And we can't do that, because if it starts running now and then it gets cold again like it is, it's hard on the production and the trees and everything. And so, yeah, it just helps that, you know, in March things start running and they can just run the sap. But things were kind of getting a little wonky enough of out of its stuff. So thank you guys for liking. I really appreciate it so much. I hope you guys don't mind that in my format, I try to just like meet and greet in the first 15 minutes or so and kind of get to see what's going on, how everybody's weather is treating them, what you're up to. And then before I kind of get into, if I have a subject for the day, try to get into that. And I just, you know, I don't want to just jump into it, because I want to make sure everybody can get in. And so I don't have to like start over, they don't miss it or something like that. So anyway, it helps a little bit. Well, thank you. I'm glad for those thumbs up. I appreciate that very much. So we've got a couple minutes yet, but I wanted to find out where everybody's at with planting. I haven't even planned planting yet, but I plan on starting my plan in a couple weeks. So if that makes sense to you, you know, I can't start my seeds until mid-April anyway. So, you know, for me to just start so soon and then just sit on it and wait, it, you know, I've got a little bit of time here. So not that I'm procrastinating till the end, but you know, it's easier to do this. So, you planted broad beans today. Okay. Sunny Preps, you lost a young cherry tree. Like, oh, yep, that happens. I've lost pine trees that way too. I lost a Colorado blue spruce, which is a great pine tree, but it, you know, it's very, what do I say, not finicky, but it's kind of fragile in that way, and until it gets really good and big. And mine was probably 4 feet high, something like that, but I'd started it from just a little itty bitty sprig, and it was growing and growing and growing. And we had one of those late winters that things got really warm, sap started flowing, then it got below 0 again, and oh my gosh, it's yeah. Eli, are you going to be to your new place in time to be able to put a garden in at that point, since you can't do it where you're at? That would be broad beans. You know what? I don't grow broad beans either. So whoever it was that said that they're growing broad beans, if you could explain that to Grammy Karen, that'd be great. Your peace plum is blooming. Oh. Gil, you have 6 more weeks before you can prep the soil. Beginning of, yeah. And it all depends on what this spring does for us. It is so weird what's happening. So Julie, you filled all of your planting containers, but you're still deciding what to plant in the ground versus pots. Yeah. You know, just take some planning. And do I rotate my crops in my raised beds? Yes, most of them. Now, like my strawberries are established in one bed, and I think that's, and then my herbs. So those things are established. I can't rotate those out, but otherwise, yes, I do. This year, I may keep the tomatoes in the same spot. I'm not sure, just because the position and the light and the sun and all that kind of stuff, it was great for them last year. But otherwise, yes, I do rotate around my beans and onions and carrots and all that kind of stuff, and peppers, because some of them will actually, take nutrients from the soil. Beans will put nutrients back in. So if I can rotate them around, it really helps the soil, and it helps the plants grow better too. So Julie, you filled, oh, I already read that, sorry. I gotta catch up to you guys. Sunny Preps, you've been chained to your desk at home since you retired from your job. Out of the frying pan into the fire. Oh no. Well, I suppose you're trying to figure out what to do from home, right? That's, it's, people think, oh, working at home is so great. And there is a lot of flexibility with it and some wonderful stuff, but it's hard to balance everything sometimes. So the tinker's wife, you're prepping soil in the next couple weeks. You need to till it under. Okay, excellent. Tori, your tomatoes are popping up. Oh, so fun. Max, I'm so glad you found it. Is that Misty? The baby had taken one of the small tubes and stuck it in one of the bigger ones. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah, when you're missing one piece of something so important, that's pretty hard. So, well, that's good, Eli. I'm so glad for that. So broad beans are cold hardy and nitrogen fixers. Are they a dried bean, or are they a green bean, or what kind of bean would they be? So organic raw roots. You did radish, beets, carrots, parsnips, corn. Oh my goodness. Urban garden in Miami. Okay. So you would do 2 gardens. So you do an urban one and one at the farm. Oh, that keeps you busy. Oh, Missy, you just keep so busy. I don't know how you do it all. It's, I'm glad you're young. I'm not anymore. It's like, oh, okay. So Julie, you're hoping for more moisture this winter. Oh, you're way below average. Last fall, though, you guys were getting a lot of rain, though, right? Hey, Gail's Garden Herbs. Hello. And Connie, hi. Thanks for coming in. Annalise, hello. What should you plant in a bed after growing jalapeno and cayenne peppers? After peppers, I would, first of all, really amend your beds really well. Get them, get more compost in there, get more stuff. What could you put in after peppers? You could do, I would do probably green beans would be a good one. Putting stuff back into the soil, or you could do onions, carrots, but yeah, I wouldn't do peppers in the same spot again. Hey Dave, hello, thanks for coming in. Hi, Strong Enough to Bend. You guys, got a lot of good people to give input in this discussion here today. All right. Oh, that's okay. Connie, we always got to be talking about garden beds, right? All right. Oh, the topic for tonight. It's like, do natural disasters affect our weather? I've got to tell you, I did a whole bunch of research, and I didn't find anything that was online about that. Everybody is looking at how does weather affect volcanoes and earthquakes, because naturally they want to look at how to predict them more easily. I'm going to just bend this down a little bit. And so that's where the focus is, to try to protect people and property and all that kind of stuff. So they, hi Dave. So that's where all of the information is. That's where NASA and the NOAA, that's the National Oceanographic something. I don't know, but it's the one that tracks weather, world weather, and hurricanes and all that kind of stuff. And then there's the earthquake organizations and the different things like that. So there's a bunch of different places out there to get information. But like I said, everybody is looking at, okay, does drought affect earthquakes? How does that affect it then if there's a lot of water, you know, and the pressure on the faults and all that kind of stuff. But nobody has been looking at how does an earthquake in another part of the world or a volcano or something, how does that affect weather in another part of the world? Other than, and I'm not even talking about like the ash that gets blown out from from a volcano or anything like that. Not talking even about the results of a tsunami, but just the weather patterns and different things like that. So what brought this about for me was in 2010, it was the end of February, and you know, we were having a really snowy February. We were having like an actual blizzard, like 6 to 12 inches of snow about every 3 days. And then it was cold, and just the weather pattern was, you know, just really severe, and we were just getting socked with it. Well, all of a sudden, right at the end of February, it just stopped and went into spring immediately, you know, beginning of March. And I was like, this is really weird. And we did not have a single snowflake after that. All through March, April, whatever. And March is typically our snowiest month of the year. So here we have December, January, February, just snow, winter, cold, stuff. And then all of a sudden, bam, it goes right into March, which was, and no winter weather. And I was like, wow, this is really, really strange. And I had heard about, of course, the earthquake in Santiago, Chile, that had happened on February 27th. It was an 8.8 magnitude earthquake. And it was really deep. It was like 35 kilometers deep or something like that. So anyway, I'm sorry, I'm missing a lot of your chat, but I got to keep my thought focused here. So anyway, they, you know, I was just like, could that have had an effect? Because then I heard from, in NASA reports and everything, that the earthquake actually shifted the Earth a little bit on its axis. And I was like, oh my gosh, if, you know, we're in the northern hemisphere and this earthquake in the southern hemisphere is so deep and so powerful that it just like, you know, just shifts the Earth and put us right into spring. And it's like, okay, I'm sold. You know, it was like, okay, this can certainly happen. So I've been kind of following it lately, and you know, and there's been a number, of course, in the last 10 years of earthquakes, you know, volcanoes, different things like that. But not, you know, I haven't really paid attention to it as much. But this year, again, you guys, the weather is just so weird. It's as all of you are experiencing, you're going into hot summer, then all of a sudden right into winter again, and we are not getting the severe cold that we normally do. I mean, we had, maybe 4 or 5 days of it, maybe a week at the most at the beginning of January, and that was it. It was anything below 0 Fahrenheit, and which is really unusual for us, and we do need to do that. Dave Northwater, it doesn't change the growing zones necessarily. It's because it's such a temporary thing. By the next season, it kind of rights itself, from what I understand. But so, Kira, you're about 90 miles from Mexico. Okay, I want to quick catch up on chat if I can. You guys are just zipping away here. Okay. So in 2007, you had a frost in early May, and it got the trees good. Yep. Let me see. Okay. Gail, you're moving. Okay, a lot of you are just conversing back and forth, which is great. I love it. It's Let me see. Oh, Dave Wave, yes. Good evening. So Julie, you were getting a lot last spring, then nothing all summer, then in the fall. Okay. Didn't a volcano cause the year without a summer? From Sunny Preps. I'm not sure what year that is, but it's very, very possible. And I was in Louisiana, and I was not really, into watching the results of the cause and effect of weather and stuff like that when Mount St. Helens went. I know that when that blows, that the ash cloud and everything, that really changes a season for things like that. But and that's quite obvious, and that could happen. But anyway, Max, you're studying to do a no-till seminar. Oh, okay. You read that tilling is equivalent to an earthquake. Oh, interesting. Hey, Dave and Amanda. Hi. Thanks for coming in. Wilderstead is in the house. I got to catch up with you guys. Yes, that is strange. I know Tinker's Web. You'd think somebody would be studying it, but I couldn't find anything online. Oh, yeah, it's just not published yet. I would hope that there'd be, some association out there that would be working on it and doing that. Gil, earthquakes are strong enough they can affect the Earth's wobble and therefore the seasons. Absolutely. So that's kind of my next step here. So we could do a little bit of science here if you guys are okay with that. Just some basic astronomy stuff. And I know I'm probably speaking to the choir here and everything, but just kind of sometimes, Mount St. Helens. Oh, yeah. So Annalise, yep, you're northern Minnesota. I know, it is weird, isn't it? You had 35 degrees. We were like at 48 yesterday. It was just crazy. So anyway, here is the sun. Nice big orange. And here is the Earth on its axis. Do you like my axis? It's a skewer. So it's at 23.5 degrees. So that's it's about like that. So we are the third planet from the sun. There you have Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, so on. And the sun stays still, but the Earth is rotating. So that one rotation is our day, and it stays on the axis. As it goes around the sun, it keeps the same axis, but the angle towards the sun changes. And so one revolution around the sun, this is hard to turn, as it's spinning, it's going around. So it's actually, the Earth is actually spinning about 1,000 miles an hour. And so, because it's 25,000 miles in diameter, so it's just a little over 1,000 miles an hour that it's rotating. So as it's spinning around, one rotation is 1 year around, or revolution around the sun. Okay, so the axis is axis, A-X-I-S. It has to do with the pull on the sun and the moon. And now, while this is going, the moon is rotating, revolving around the Earth. So we've got all this spinning going on throughout the whole galaxy, really, and keeping everything in place. It's just like only God can keep this in place. That's for sure. It's just so much going on. Anyway, okay. So when we have, Gil was talking about a wobble. So anyway, the axis appears to stay stable. Now, the Earth is not a perfectly round ball. It will actually morph and change according to the tides, and that's the pull on the moon. So the tides in Maine are actually some of the deepest tides in the world, and you can change 50 feet from high tide to low tide. So that's pretty significant change. And so what that does is that the shape of the Earth changes. Well, so it's on this axis. So what did they say? But there's actually a wobble, and that's called the axial precession. And so this wobble that Gil was talking about too, is that it kind of you know, it will wobble within a circle about like this, but it takes 26,000 years for a wobble to be complete. Right now, we are about 13,000 years into our wobble. So things are changing and everything. Now, in 2010, when we had the Santiago, Chile earthquake, let me find my notes here. It was an 8.8, so it was the 5th strongest. Hey, Barbara Carbone. Hi, I'm sorry if I'm missing anybody else here. Mama Grows, hey. Sand Hollow Homestead, hi. Thanks for coming in. Oh, Eli, I can believe that. I can believe that. Changed the weather for about 3 years. Yep. And that's something that we never know, to plan for too with preparing your food and preparing stuff. Thanks, Wilderstead. Appreciate it. So anyway, so we're into that wobble. Well, when we had the Santiago, Chile earthquake, it actually, what was it? Oh, to get back before that, when we are going around the sun and everything, the most that the Earth will shift on its axis is about 1 meter. So it's just a little over 3 feet. Now you consider this is 25,000 miles. That 3 feet is very little, but that's enough to change our seasons, to change, everything else, to get into that wobble that's going on. Well, the earthquake that happened actually shifted the Earth on its axis 3 inches. Now, it might not seem too much. I mean, you got 3 inches. It's like, oh, the Earth. But considering the most it ever will shift all around for seasons is 3 feet, 3 inches is pretty significant. And so we were in winter up here away from the sun. So the sun was here and we were at winter, which means that the rays were bouncing off kind of that part. Well, what it did is down here, it was strong enough where it shifted it just enough so that we were starting to get more sunlight. We were into a whole different season and it just cut it off right there. And we were instantly into spring. By fall, I think things kind of balanced out enough, but so when you've got all of these factors, the volcanoes and the earthquakes that are happening around the world in different areas that, half of them we don't even hear about, but if they're, happening in different parts, it's got to affect our weather all over the place. Hey, Thrifty VG, hi, thanks for coming in. Let me see here. Get my notes here. I even highlighted some things here too. So trying to get you guys some succinct information and kind of making it sense and everything. So anyway, the Chile earthquake also gave the Earth kind of a turbo boost in when those kind of things happen. Picture a figure skater when they're doing their routine on the ice and they go into a spin and they're on the tip of their skate or on their blade, they're just spinning. When they have their arms out or the legs out or something, the spin is slower. And then as they bring their arms in, the spin gets faster and faster and faster. Well, the earthquake that happened in Chile and a number of others are what they call a thrust earthquake, which means that others have the plates sliding. I don't know if you can see my hands. They have them sliding against one another or something, they're shifting, but a thrust earthquake actually shoves it underneath there. So the power is going under there. So it's like the skater bringing their arms or legs in. So it causes the Earth to spin faster for a while. It's temporary, but it causes it to spin faster, which also affects the weather and everything else. So anyway, March 11th, 2011. So this was like a year later. We had in Japan, there was the Tohoku earthquake in northeastern Japan, and that was a 9.0 quake. It was Japan's largest recorded one and the fourth biggest earthquake on Earth since 1900, since they've been recording them. That also unleashed a 128-foot tsunami, killing almost 16,000 people and causing the nuclear meltdown at Fukushima. So that type of power that happens is just it's just so strong. So hey, Mo, homesteading, thank you. Oh yeah, I'm hoping that you're having some good weather too. That'll be coming. Oh, I'm glad that you guys find this interesting. But nature is dominant. Volcanoes spew more greenhouse gases. Absolutely. I even read one time that one volcanic eruption, like Mount St. Helens, is equivalent to about 70,000 years of humans living on the Earth. So I don't know if that was a drastic exaggeration or not, but it's all there. All right. So anyway, that earthquake in Japan actually it redistributed Earth's mass and it knocked it off its axis by 6 inches. So that was like double what the Chile earthquake was. They said the earthquakes that happen closer to the equator have more of an impact on the spin. So, and it also, another thing, anybody else who's living around the 45th parallel, like I am, that is the latitude that actually has the highest stress factor on volcanoes. And Italy's Mount Etna actually has is on the 45th parallel. Okay, let me see what else I have. Mount Etna. So the other thing is that oceans, store a large amount of heat, and that small changes can actually then occur in the ocean currents. When there's a tsunami as a result of an earthquake, the tsunami can go. There was one, I don't remember what it was, but that I read that there's one in the Aleutian Islands that there was an earthquake that wiped out an Air Force station, I believe it was. And anyway, there was a tsunami that came through from that, and it was like 100 feet high. Well, it ended up like 5 hours later. Yeah, 5 hours later, it hit Hawaii and killed a number of people there and wiped them out. So you've got the water from the Aleutian Islands, which is off Alaska, very cold water there, making its way by tsunami down into the warmer waters. So that changes the whole aspect of our global weather too. So anyway, I mean, it's just like all these things. So one event, one earthquake, one eruption can affect things so much in that way. All right. Oh, bye, Kiri. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it. Okay, Gail. Yeah, it was an 8. So it was probably people freaking out at that time. That's all I remember at that point in time. But oh, Rainbow 505. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So Dave, for the #1 source of Earth and the Sun, look here on YouTube. Oh, suspicious observers. Okay. That would be neat. Hey, Josh, thanks so much for coming all the way from Australia. Yes, there's always a cause and effect in nature and science. There's just, you can never get away from that. I mean, it's just a matter of fact. All right. Currently, right now, and this was as of like Friday, there are 43 active volcanoes in the world with ongoing eruptions. 43 in the world. On January 12th, just a couple weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, the volcano that went off in the Philippines, it set off over 1,100 volcanic earthquakes, and they're still going on right now. I mean, they're recording like 100, 200 a day, and those are volcanic earthquakes. So you've got the volcano that's erupting, and then you've got the earthquakes going from that, and that has to be disrupting our weather. So I think it's really, really important for us to be aware of those things going on, to track them and to different things like that, so that we can have a better idea of what we're looking at for our seasons coming up. And, not to be afraid of where we're living or anything like that, but just to be aware of, like I said, for planting, for, going, like, this weather is so weird, what's happening? And, that we can have some really good scientific facts and a basis to go on for all that. So we are in our wobble, and we got 13,000 years left in our wobble there. So I don't know that won't matter to us, because we're not going to be here 13,000 years. But anyway, things are always going on. By the very nature of nature, it is never still. It is always moving forward. It's always in flux. It's always changing. And we just have to realize that we have to go with those changes. So anyway, there's a half hour of my spiel. So I hope you guys got something out of it. I think it's kind of cool to follow and to watch. But anyway, I just experiencing. Oh, thank you, Karen. Appreciate that. Just for me, experiencing that one after the Santiago earthquake, of abruptly our winter stopped, and we had no snow after that, and it was so weird. And it was like, what in the world is going on? So that, we can kind of, I don't know, do your studying, figure out what is going on. And so Wilder said, we're actually banking on climate change here and starting to grow trees from seed for the future. Pawpaw being one of the more southern species you're planting. Okay. Oh, thank you, Mo Homesteading. I appreciate that. So which one was the 7.7 that you're talking about, organic raw roots? Was that the one out in the Philippines? Because I think they... Eli, you're right. You're right. We are not enough to affect all of that kind of stuff. So that is very cool, Dave and Amanda. Oh, my goodness, that is great. Thank you, Sand Hollow Homestead. How to adapt to climate changes in your area. Ooh, that would take some thinking, wouldn't it? Because it's going to be different for everybody according to what you have. But that's a good philosophical one there, isn't it? How, maybe Gil or Southern Ohio Prepping can take that one, huh? How to adapt to climate change in your area. I think a big part is just not looking back at, well, 20 years ago it was like this, and so it's going to be the same today. Things aren't going to stay the same. So anyway, how to adapt to 70 degrees on one day and snow on the next. Yeah. just not plant anything yet. I think so. Okay, the Philippines earthquake. I don't think I had that written down. Anyway, but yeah, so I had a bunch of other information. So anyway, yes, to adapt and diversify, absolutely. It's too complicated for the side chat. Oh, well, you know, maybe you guys can do a live on that or something. That'd be great. So Tinker's wife, I'm looking at how it will impact you here. Trees, the forest floor, plants will be impacted. Yeah. You know, and also maybe try to find varieties. Sorry, my computer's shifting here. Try to find varieties that will be more hardy, that can take droughts, that can take, you know, a frost or something like that. And not to plant things that are just pretty for the sake of it being pretty, but to really be hardy to different things like that. So, you know, I think that would be really good. So our last few summers have been very short, or, you know, they keep getting shortened. So I've actually talked to a number of farmers that live in the area, and, you know, a discussion about looking at varieties that instead of 120-day corn, look at maybe a 90-day corn or 100-day corn, something like that, because they haven't been able to, like last summer, they couldn't plant until the middle of June. It was not only cold, but then we went to rain and it was too wet and they couldn't get into the fields. And so, you know, it's like, how do you do that? And then it starts getting cold and rainy at the end of September. And it's like, how can you get things harvested? There was a lot of corn that was just left in the fields this winter because it wasn't finished ripening. It wasn't finished drying out, the field corn. And so, because it's got to dry on the stalk, and there just wasn't enough time, and it was very hard on the farmers. So get some chat here. So One Green World Nursery, they're a great resource for fruiting plants and trees. Very good. You need to get me up to speed on StreamYard so I can host a panel. I know, that would be great. That would be good. Maybe that's something I'll get into this year. That would be kind of fun. Being aware of the changes getting worse each year is huge. Yes, it is. You have to imagine weather as it is, but worse. So if I imagine another hailstorm in June, you'll need quick crop covers and more greenhouse works. Absolutely. So not only, you know, different seeds and everything that can actually withstand that kind of thing, but protection for it. So like for Karen, you know, she got hailed out and she had to completely plant all over again. And it is hard. It is crazy, especially when you're depending on the food. So homesteaders don't eat corn. No, our field corn is actually for the animals. So anyway, bye, Gail. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate that so much. Yes, I did remember, Karen. I remember your videos. I remember the heartbreak that you had with that and the difficulty. It's hard. But yes, protection is going to be a big thing to get ready. And I don't have everything in place, but I've started thinking about how to cover my beds too, to not only protect from maybe a late frost, but early frosts in the fall too, and bugs and different things. So I know Zach at Stivers, he has a couple bed covers and everything that's been working great for him. I don't know that would work well for me in my space because I have, you know, everything so much closer together. But so I'm trying to think of some ideas and some things to do. But yeah, it's definitely a good idea. Oh, Karen, I'm so glad that you had a good harvest and really good produce. That's so great. Protection in all forms, more water, less water, shade, frost protection, absolutely. So it's, it's not just your normal little home gardener type of thing anymore. It's like, we need to actually really be seriously looking at everything, and that's not easy to do. That's pretty tough. So do you guys like my partial solar system? Kind of worked well. I had toothpicks on here, but I didn't think they would show up very well. It was too hard to spin them because then they were starting to come out. But so my fruit display. All right. I want to thank all my mods so much. Thank you, Eli. Yes, Grammy Karen, he is sweet to me. So not can embarrass you, Eli, right? Thank you, Karen. I appreciate that. And the Tinker's wife, that was great. Yes, my mods. Thank you. I thank all my mods so much for being here, for all the links that you're putting up, and I could just keep on going and give my talk or whatever it is, or give you guys the information and chat with you and not have to worry about any of that. And I really appreciate it. You guys are just amazing. And you guys, everybody go check everybody else out too. I want to do that. Oh, thank you, Connie. I appreciate that. I love having you be here. Missy, that's so great. Okay, prep tip for the night or for the week or whatever. Stock a supply of salt. Salt is going to be so important. And how much you need is going to depend on what you have on your homestead or your farm, or what you intend to do with it. If you just need salt for seasoning and eating and making sure you have that, and it depends on how many people you have in the house. Gil or Dave, I don't know. I can't get through this, Eli, can I? I don't know what the standard rate is, for how many pounds of salt per person per year. If it's if you need 1 pound of salt or 10 pounds of salt or whatever it is, but salt to not only season everything, but for canning, for preserving, for salting meat. If we don't have any other way of preserving meat, you need to salt it down like crazy. I know there's some preppers that are putting up like 400 and 500 pounds of salt. So anyway, stock a supply of salt. Salt is important for our health. We need that in our bodies. And also, if you have a certain amount of it extra, it's good for trade. So a human needs, Grammy Karen, thank you. A human needs a teaspoon of salt a day, and you can calculate from that. Okay, so 1 teaspoon, so 3 days that's a tablespoon. 2 tablespoons is like 1/8 of a cup. So, so 16. So you need a cup of salt for 16 weeks, so 3 or 4 months, just for eating that. So 25 cents a pound. Whew, that is, that's cheap. So it's a very, like Eli said, it's a very cheap commodity. It's really good to have, and super great for when we need to go to trade and barter and everything. So if somebody, I don't have chickens here, but if I have a lot of salt and somebody needs salt, if they have a chicken, hey, I'll give you a cup of salt for a chicken, or for a dozen eggs or something like that, So, but organic raw roots, there's still a certain amount that you do have to have in your system and for preserving. So, still have some around. And the other things it's good for is like scouring your the black cast iron pots. So you can use salt to scour that, especially if it's a larger, like a bigger grain kosher salt or something like that. So Yes, coarse salt, sea salt. Yep. So many different kinds of salt. Salt for pickling salt, different things like that. So if you need to preserve your eggs, have the lime and the pickling salt, the brine and everything like that. So all of these things are really important to have that. So yes, Connie, very good, thank you. She said, doctors kept telling you not to use salt because of your blood pressure and came to find out that your sodium was too low and not too high. Yep. Oh, well, they said burn it into ash, and that is a natural northern salt. Sweet. Okay. But yeah, so you can use salt for cleaning, salt for so many things. Just Google it and find out what it can be used for. But um, so it's great. So anyway, yeah, and it's always it lasts forever. Even if it turns into a solid chunk because of humidity and everything, you can still like chip away at it and different things like that. So, Mo Homesteading, you try to keep salt and honey all the time. Yes, and beans. Yes, I've been stocking up on honey, but I'm getting a little bit lower because I've used more this winter, and my typical source has not been providing it, so I have to find another source of honey. And so anyway, dads are always right. Yep. So you had a stroke and the doctor said it was salt. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. I don't know. Sometimes it makes you wonder if they, if they don't know what the source is of a stroke and then they default to that. I don't know. Yes, 5 gallons of honey is definitely something that I want to look for. Googling colt's foot. Okay. Oh, bye, Grandma Karen. Yes, you've got your kids the next hour, so we will be heading over there, that's for sure. All right. Do I have anything else on here? I went to the ice fishing derby on Saturday, and it was really good. But the fish weren't, they had to redo some things. Anyway, I'm going to hopefully get a video out this week. I'm going to be leaving for a little while towards the end of the week, and but I will be back next Monday. And I just got to show you guys what I got. Where is it? Oh, it fell. Hold on just a second. Okay. Let me see. I have not even put it on, but here we go. All right. I'm ready to get on the plane. I know that there's other things, but anyway. So, so did they test your sodium? So, okay. Sugarcane is a tropical warm weather plant. Yep. Yep. So this actually comes with 6 filters that fit in here too, and each filter will last like 40 hours. So I didn't want a black one or stupid gray one. So anyway, this is kind of pretty, and it's very soft. So but the inside looks like this. Got the 2 breathing ones. See, Southern Ohio Prepping, I've been paying attention. And Gil, yes. So I've got that ready to go. So hopefully I'll be fine. I don't want any more pneumonia. I don't want any more sickness. So getting through all this, I'm good. So, all right, guys. Mods, again, thank you so much. I think I covered everything. Oh, I wanted to tell you something about back to the weather, just really, really quick here. I follow the NOAA models, for like the 3-month forecasts and stuff like that. They're still saying that our area in the upper Midwest is the northern plains is supposed to be below normal temperatures and above normal precipitation. We haven't hit either of that for weeks and weeks. The other thing is that they said that Alaska was going to be far above normal and everything. Well, if you go to any weather map, they are in the like hugely sub-zero temperatures, like 30, 40 below zeros at this point, which is about normal for them. And so maybe even a little bit below normal, but it's like, I can't even count on that anymore because all these other factors are changing stuff out. So anyway, all right, guys, that was my last little bit. Thank you so much for coming. Everybody, I really appreciate it. Thank you, Julie. Thank you, Kiri, Cecilia, everybody here. Really appreciate that. Stivers are on, and there's other channels that are going live right now. So I just encourage you to go over and support them, and be really, really awesome. Love you all too. Good night. Thank you so much. Take care. Yep, it's been really strange. So guys, take care. God bless. Always have hope. Bye.